In case you guys haven't checked the AFC standings right now, I'm going to save you some time. The Jags are currently number 2 in the entire conference. In the AFC South, we stand currently alone at number 1. Yes, you are hearing that correctly. The Jaguars are the number 2 team in the entire AFC. And that's not a joke or something weird. Like, we are genuinely playing like one of the best teams in the league currently right now. As far as net points are concerned, that's like your points for minus your points against. We are outscoring our opponents 84-38. That is the second highest net point total in the NFL, behind the Buffalo Bills, the Super Bowl favorite. And that has a lot to do with how we've been playing these past few weeks, and especially this week. We just demolished the Chargers 38-10 on the road in Los Angeles. This is our first road win since 2019. It came against the Oakland Raiders. Yes, you heard that right. They were still the Oakland Raiders. Gardner Minshew was our quarterback. Chris Conley was our leading receiver. It's been some time since we've won a road game. I just want to read off a couple, wild stats from today because these were crazy. Our first road win since 2019. This 28-point win was the largest road win since 2001 for the franchise. Just to put that in perspective, Trevor Lawrence was 2 years old at that point in time. And this is also our first back-to-back 20-plus point victories since 2000. This is the turning point. We took the momentum from that Indianapolis game and implemented it this week, and hopefully we can continue carrying that on forward. I'm through the moon right now. You guys, I would assume, are feeling the same way. Jags absolutely on a tear right now. Look like a legitimate threat. Yes, a legitimate threat in the AFC. In this video, I'm just going to be recapping the game against the Chargers and kind of going over my takeaways. But before I do, I'd like to remind you guys, maybe drop down, hit a like. I'd really appreciate it. Helps the channel grow. And drop a comment. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Victory Monday coming up. A huge win against the Chargers. And make sure to hit that notification bell to get a notification every time a brand new video gets uploaded. I appreciate you guys. Let's get into it. This seriously might be the most competent football team that I've seen play in Jacksonville since I've been a fan. Like, seriously, in 2017, yeah, we were incredible on defense. We ran the ball well on offense. But we were limited with Blake Bortles. I love Blake. That's my guy. We were very limited. This, seriously, right now, and it's only going to get better over time, but seriously, right now, this is the most competent team and most competitive team I've seen on both sides of the football. And it's making Sunday so enjoyable. We're putting up points. Sorry, my dog just hopped in bed. She's trying to get me in bed. I know I think it's 2 a.m. right now. But yeah, seriously, offensively and defensively, we're competitive. And that's really all I wanted going into the season, was just to be competitive. Obviously I want to win the division, want to make the playoffs and all that, but at the end of the day, I just wanted to watch meaningful football all season. I didn't want to care about, our draft pick in October. I was sick of that. I love, mock draft season, but I want to do that closer to the off season from here on out. And I think this team's going to allow us to do that going forward. I hope you guys are ready, seriously, because it's been a long time coming, and I think we're here. I really do. So get used to this. Get used to winning. We're here. The rebuild's over. It's time to win now. Seriously, it's real. Let that sink in. It's wild to say, but let that sink in. Not trying to overreact too much, but we have a great football team. We really, really do. As far as the game went, a pretty comfortable win. Not many points in this game was I, extremely nervous or stressed out. The only really time I was after the first 2 drives of the game. Trevor looked a little shaky, missed a few throws. We turned the ball over on downs our first possession, and the next possession we punted. But it's the way we bounce back. The next 7 drives, so we need the ball at half, and then we need it in victory formation. But the 7 drives after the turnover on downs and the punt, the only other drives in the game, scored on every single one. Field goal, touchdown, field goal, halftime, touchdown, victory formation. That's how you win a game. That's how you beat a good team. Just awesome. All around. Seriously. Unreal game. Just going to go over some team stats because, it's a thing of beauty. When you see things like this, I want to talk about it. On third downs, we were 8 for 15. The Chargers were 5 for 13. That's how you get off the field. On fourth down, we were 2 for 3, and the Chargers were 0 for 2. Again, just getting off the field, that's huge. That's how you stop good teams. I mean, this is like debatably a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, one of the best running backs in the NFL, one of the better defenses in the NFL. And I mean, you bullied him. You basically neutralized Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler. Like, that happened. As far as time of possession goes, we had the ball for 38 minutes to their 22. We only had 2 penalties. 2 penalties. We went from 13 penalties to week 1, cutting it down to 3 last week, to 2 this week, for a total of 10 yards, to the Chargers 5 for 54. And then turnovers. Not a single turnover, but we forced 2, an interception and a forced fumble. That's the blueprint. That's how you win a game. You dominate in all of those categories, and 99.9% of the time, you're going to win that game no matter who you're playing. Just a great showing from the offense, defense. Such a perfect game. Were there things, I mean, I'm not going to say perfect. We could have been a little bit more efficient in the red zone, but, I'm not going to get into negatives right now. Pretty much all positive takeaways from this game. With statistics like that, from a team setting, you're just not going to lose many games putting up numbers like that. You're just not. And for a couple of my takeaways, I'm going to start on the offensive side of the ball. And how can I not start with Trevor Lawrence? He was amazing, yet again, 28 of 39 for 262 and 3 should have been 4 touchdowns. He was getting the ball out quickly. I mean, he has some zip. And it takes him a 3-step drop, 0.2 seconds, and there's just a dart down the field, 15 yards down. You don't see that from a young guy too often. And not to mention things you don't see from a young guy, his pocket presence. I mean, Khalil Mack is coming around the back towards his blind side, and he moves to the side, gets to where he has to be to escape him and then make a play. Go watch a replay of that Zay Jones touchdown. Felt pressure coming from the left side, rolled out to the right without even looking, and throws an absolute laser to Zay Jones in the end zone. Just perfect. Just flawless. And from a 22-year-old, scary what his potential is. Just scary. And going off that, his creativity off script and the plays that he's able to make because of his arm strength and mobility and size. I mean, this is why he was a generational prospect. Every box imaginable, he checked and then some. And he put it on display again this week. The people that were screaming bust, the Trevor Lawrence a bust, y'all have been very, very quiet. Have not been seeing you guys lately. Where are you at? Where are you at? You were very loud. You were very loud last season. You were even pretty loud week 1, surprising enough. You've been very quiet these past 2 weeks. And I'm pretty sure he's going to keep it that way. And I do want to read off a kind of wild statistic because this blew my mind. I thought this was kind of cool. There have only been 2 quarterbacks to start 0-9 on the road, that being Trevor Lawrence and Peyton Manning. Manning got his first road victory in week 3 of his second season. So did Trevor Lawrence, both coming against the Chargers. Just a weird statistic. I thought that was cool. Figured I'd share with you guys. And then the run game, James Robinson. Another great game from J-Rob. Comeback player of the year. I would say front runner. He's been unbelievable, scoring a touchdown in every single game so far this season. He had 17 carries for 100 yards even and a touchdown, which was a 50-yard run on a 4th and 1. That ended up being his longest rushing attempt in his career so far. So huge shout out to J-Rob. He looks incredible. His comeback is just unreal, and I would personally have him as my front runner for sure for that award. And then pass protection. Pass protection was great. Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, not a single sack. Cam shut it down. Jawan shut it down. Everyone was playing great. Love to see this from the offensive line. They're not an amazing unit as far as names go, but they're playing really above and beyond. And then also Trevor's ability to evade pressure. It's working. It's working so well. So huge shout out to those guys up front. Wide receivers continue to be great. Zay Jones had his first big game as a Jag. Big shout out to him. 10 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown for Zay. Big game, Zay. And then Christian Kirk, the most underpaid receiver in football. He had 6 catches, 72 yards, and a touchdown. He continues to ball out for us. And then Marvin Jones. Dude is catching everything. I mean, you saw that catch behind his head today. Dude is hanging on to legitimately everything right now, no matter how much it's contested. And another prime example in the end zone for that touchdown. He had 4 catches, 33 yards, and a big kill shot at the end of the game for a touchdown. So big shout out to Marv. He's been awesome. And then I do want to talk about Evan Ingram. He had a catch for 9 yards. Not going to jump off the page. But that 9 yards came on a 3rd and 8. It set us up for a 1st and goal, which led to our first touchdown. And then also on J-Rob's 4th and 1, 50-yard carry, who had the seal block? That was 1-7. That was Evan Ingram. So I just wanted to talk about that. Give credit where credit is due. Evan Ingram, great game. And then how can I recap this game without talking about the front seven, who continues to just wreak havoc? We held Austin Eckler, one of the biggest names among running backs in the NFL, to 4 carries for 5 yards. Just awesome. I mean, we are just demolishing run games left and right. Whether it be Jonathan Taylor last week or Austin Eckler this week, we're on a tear. We got to keep that up. And then pass rush. We pressured Justin Herbert on 30% of his dropbacks. Again, awesome. Everyone is contributing. And one of those pressures came from DeJuan Smoot, who also forced the fumble on his sack. That was recovered by Foye Oluokun. Just an awesome play by Smoot. Continues to be one of the most underrated guys in this team. A guy who's just always producing and comes in big. Had, again, a huge sack today. Forced fumble. Big shot to Smoot. And then Josh Allen continues to be incredible. It may not show up in the counting stats. Like, you may look at his stats and see 2 sacks. But this dude is just unbelievable so far. Whether it be tackles for loss, QB pressures, just advanced stats are in love with Josh Allen right now, and it jumps off the page. Like, you can see it. Like, you watch the game, you can see it. In this game alone, he had 8 QB pressures. In the league, he ranks 2nd with 15 total QB pressures behind only Myles Garrett. So, I mean, that should tell you all you need to know. Josh Allen, amazing game. Just continues to be crazy on that edge with Trayvon Walker, and I'm loving watching that happen. And speaking of Trayvon Walker, continues to be an absolute freak of nature, whether it be dropping back in coverage and getting a pass deflection, or having an offensive lineman commit 2 holding penalties while he's being doubled because they can't stop a 21-year-old rookie. Dude's an absolute freak. Keep balling out. Trayvon has been playing amazing for us. And then speaking of rookies, the defensive rookie of the year, in my opinion, I had that prediction going into the season, and it's looking pretty good so far. Devin Lloyd, could argue, has been our best defensive player so far this year. Didn't get really any snaps in preseason due to an injury, and has come in and looked like a vet. I mean, he is absolutely everywhere on the field, just flying around the ball, always making plays, always making huge tackles. Devin Lloyd is just playing incredible. Today he had 7 total tackles, 3 pass deflections, and a pick. And a kind of wild stat, he's the first Jag to ever record 2 picks in his first 3 career games. It's also the first linebacker in the NFL to be able to hit that mark since 2015. So, I mean, seriously, like, Devin Lloyd is absolutely balling right now. So, big shout out to the rookies. This first round, it's looking good right now. It's looking real good. And then the secondary, not too much to talk about. Tyson Campbell still struggling to find the ball in the air. Still playing great coverage all over Mike Will on that touchdown. But yeah, just can't locate the ball or punch it out. But, we were down Shaquille Griffin going into the game. And I think Trey Herndon stepped up and played really, really well. I don't think we missed a beat defensively, without Shaq. And it's not, trying to discredit Shaq or what he brings to the team. It's more of giving credit to Trey Herndon for how well he stepped into that role and played well for us. I've always been a big Trey guy. I think he's a great CB4. You don't want him as your CB2 or your CB1 or anything. But he gives you good snaps, whether it be in the slot or outside. He's able to do it all. So, yeah, huge shout out to Trey for stepping in and playing really well today. Pretty sure I'm not the only one that has this feeling. But this Doug Peterson experience, 10 out of 10, would recommend. 5-star review. Absolutely loving every second of it. And so are the players. They are completely buying in. If you're listening to interviews or press conferences, it's all they're talking about. It's just how much they're ready to win and love being around this culture that he's building. It's really awesome to see. Haven't really seen this from a Jags head coach since I can remember ever. So witnessing it, here and now with a generational quarterback and just a good football team all around to go along with a great head coach, it seems dangerous. It really is. Whether it be this year, maybe not. But going forward, this team is going to be a force. And something that really stuck out to me. Trevor Lawrence started the game, missed a couple throws, little high, little slow on his reads. And Doug Peterson gave him a couple softballs. Let him make a few throws underneath. Throw a screen pass in there. Make it easier for him. Trevor Lawrence from there, ascended. Just started to pick up more confidence. Started to make more throws in the intermediate to deep area. And just ended up having an amazing game. And that's the difference. That right there is good coaching. That's a guy who's played the position before and knows how important being in a rhythm is. And he set up Trevor Lawrence to get back in a groove. Ended up having a great game. 262 and should have been 4 touchdowns. That's just great coaching. That's what we haven't had in, who knows how long. So it's really refreshing to see. Big shout out to Doug Peterson. I am just got a man crush on him, not going to lie. As far as my 3 winners go, again, wish I could give it to the full, 53-man roster. But I got to keep it down to 3. 1, player of the game, Trevor Lawrence. Again, in a big moment, a big game, go head-to-head with another young star at quarterback and outduel them. That's something he can really build off of. That's something I wanted everybody to see because a lot of people were watching that game. A lot of people got eyes on the Chargers. We just so happened to be playing them, and they all got to witness what Trevor Lawrence can really be in this league. So big shout out to Trevor. That's a huge game for him, and hopefully he can carry it on, and I think he will. My winner number 2, Zay Jones. His first big game in Jacksonville, caught his first touchdown. Just a guy you want to root for. Everybody wants to root for Zay Jones. A super genuine dude. A guy who gives some of the best answers you could ever ask for to the media. Just an awesome guy in general. Good to see him thrive. And super happy for Zay. Really big game. And then number 3, Devin Lloyd. Putting on a show. And I know I said it a few times already, but I really think that he's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, especially if he keeps this up. Making a strong case right now. So, I think if he keeps this up, I think he's got a good shot. Just as a player, he's able to do so much. Whether it be in coverage or just racking up tackles or even pass rush, he really can do everything you want him to do at linebacker. And with a guy like Mike Caldwell as a defensive coordinator, who's just super creative with the different stunts and just different ways to go after the quarterback, he's going to put up numbers. So, huge game from Devin Lloyd. So appreciate you guys for clicking on the video. Hope you guys enjoy your Victory Monday. I know I definitely will. And make sure to drop a like. Really helps the channel grow. Really appreciate it. Also, drop down in the comments. Let me know how you guys are feeling, how you're spending your Victory Monday. And also, hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't subbed already. Going to be dropping content all throughout the season. And then hit that notification bell so you get an alert every time a brand new video gets uploaded. Appreciate you guys for watching. And as always, go Jags.